Attention gamers, 6 months ago I started this channel, and the most OG viewers know that my original content was all about Ezreal the prodigal e-boy, and I sought to prove why guides that recommended Conqueror as being the best rune for him were tailored for good players that could actually position well and land enough shots to properly stack it, which added a hidden caveat to these guides that all the mouth-breathing Marios that ping my non-Conqueror runes read, which basically says these builds are dependent on having good mechanics. And you probably know by now that the only time Rav and good mechanics were in the same sentence was when it reads, Rav pretends to have good mechanics, by showing 1 out of every 300 clips, to make you think he is better than he actually is, because he is a YouTuber, and YouTubers deceive viewers into clicking on videos only to trap them into 45 minutes of flaccid content in a game where they went 4 and 7 like Professor Akali does every time a new champ comes out. But anyways, I always thought other runes were superior to Conqueror for the average hard-stuck tilted toxic team blaming mauling bag of waste that I play the part of in my videos, which surely doesn't reflect my actual behavior outside of making content. But now with the recent Conqueror nerfs that say you have to be 20% less horrible to receive the grand reward of life sucking your opponents at full stacks, paired with his nifty shift getting nerfed and being put on a 6-month cooldown, and I am ready to start the movement to anything but Conqueror. Starting with PTA, now I have already got mathematical as hell in a previous video on why pressing the attack is better than Conqueror. So today I will return to that argument to show a very carefully selected game, to prove the power of PTA, aka press the.
We interrupt this program for an important news announcement.
Hi, Ravi Maze here for the Rady Shady. Are you someone who loves Doritos but the tunnel tubes inside your body don't appreciate cheese, resulting in you sitting on porcelain chairs for hours wishing there was something fun to do to pass the time? Introducing Raid
Cut. Someone give this bloody moron a script to follow.
Hi, Ravi Maze here for Raid Shadow Legends. Are you someone who loves collecting new champions like spiked up Martian looking lizards, jacked dwarfs with dank haircuts, and war maidens whose graphics may or may not lead you to falling in love with them and sacrificing all your other champs in the tavern to make them stronger before doing any research on if they are even a good champion? Do you love taking your army consisting solely of which champions you thought were good looking out into the wild, both in solo campaigns and in group content like clan bosses and arena battles where you can earn awesome rewards and champions that you can immediately take back to the tavern to feed to your lady because she is all you can think about? Do you like games that you can play on your phone or PC that are always being updated with new features and activities like the brand new Tag Team Arena, where instead of the classic single winner takes all battles, you'll be strategizing and adapting between rounds, because these are best of 3 series with legit rankings and special rewards that you can then take to the tavern for a limited time only. If you use the link in the description, we will throw in 3 shards that might contain the lady of your dreams, some yellow stuff to feed her, fat stacks of monies, and another bald champ who you can use to stomp through the early stages of the game or just sacrifice and
stick to the script, Rav.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Now for those of you who post timestamps in my comments thinking viewers come to videos and immediately waste 3 minutes looking for your little PSA pussy ass comment instead of just watching through the 90-second ad, please kindly suck my nuts, and then slap that upward thumb button, silly. Okay, runes time fellies, PTA to play little games of 1 2 3. I'm a real ADC now, and presence of mind, because you both build and shed tears when you try to play this twinkle shit after the nerfs, while alacrity speeds up the little fizzle ticklers you fire out of your index finger and coup de grace so you can hear me try to pronounce it correctly. Then Nimbus Cloak to give you bursts of excitement when you waste your summoners, and Gathering Storm as a saving grace for when you have 0 kills 4 deaths and like 47 CS at 25 minutes. The game starts off with both supports wearing their Lava Vuitton outfits to work today, which is awkward as hell and clearly causing some tension between the two of them, so when the slapfest finally breaks out, I start casually counting to 3 on the pervy uncle to unlock the power of pressing the attack, so I dash past the red robes and press it hard before focusing my attention back on Mr. Skinny Jeans, who isn't having much luck with his cute little grape launcher, which eventually prompts him to shit out his summoners and glue me to the floor thinking he's in the clear. But I just know that greedy gothball has some major FOMO, knowing that there will be tiny midget employees dying when he isn't around, so when I see that dipshit coming back in to get his helping of hoodlum homicide, I make my move with a little ring pop into Fizzle Dust Bursty Boy say hey to the graveyard combo to collect my gold. 2 minutes later and the minions are seemingly all practicing social distancing as Lantern Larry is off taking a piss in river, but the whole matching outfits debacle still has their support in an outrage, so I throw a scouting W over before following up by aiming a Q at the ghost of Brahms past as Mr. Fun Guns drops a puking infernum and the malding baldy gets lassoed before PTA makes him go MIA. Then I fizzle tickle the ADC a few times to let him know that my index finger will be whipping out more DPS than all 16 of his guns combined. This allows the boys to go on a dragon hunting trip as Billy Joe Armstrong actually thinks I am going to let someone in skinny jeans harass my hooded midget employees, so I put a ring on him and pop it to let him know that his Heimerdinger impersonation could use some practice. I get back to lane after spending so much cash in one trip you could practically call me my freaking wife just to see our peepee creepy parkouring mid laner ready to go full Beyblade Bobby, so we hit the gas pedal and the hooker brings us an anorexic emo as an appetizer before Talon shows off some incredible reflexes with a flashy move. But I hear a rumor about there being blood puddles in mid lane, so I rush over only to find some kid fleeing the crime scene knowing he can't afford to be a suspect in Vlad's murder as no jury will deem that Mohawk innocent, so he ports back to a time when unfortunately he was still guilty of being a dumbass, so we detain him in Fountain. And then my support tells me to play safe because he is quote unquote about to go make plays, which I later learned means he's going to help two of my other teammates leash Rift Herald for the other team before picking an outnumbered fight in river and dying a miserable death. #Thresh God. But it's all good because when I went to go pay my respects to Thresh God's dead body I was greeted by their jungler playing a quick game of surprise I'm a dead bitch, which prompted the announcer lady to say my performance thus far has been comparable to God's. Then I spotted an intense 1v1 between the mustache man and a ward, so I run up and nail a quick swirly star-shotted shift shitter to scare him off before placing a rush order for one gargantuan-sized banana as we do some synchronized flashing, but blonde Count Dracula comes in for the cock block and gets all handsy, forcing me to say later to the hater and ride that lantern back to safety. But that blood-leeching loser isn't keen on getting blue-balled, so he period puddles his way into the greed zone just to get his revenge, but your boy is in town, so I play it slow because I have been surprise anally ravaged by one too many Vlads in my day. But then it happened, my personal record of longest streak without dying in a game ended. The scene was a blur to me as all I can remember was some seriously roided up scuttle crab in the midst of people everywhere, blood puddles and giant shields blocking what would have been a very effective banana bomb, and I just recall wanting one thing. I wanted the sexy announcer lady to call me legendary, so I did what any 7-year hard-stuck low piece of shit would do. I greeted hard, whiffed a skill shot and just barely got my 8th kill before dying. But I guess fucking Cynthia working the mic today felt that announcing Tucker Time Tits Easy Shutdown was more important than saying I was legendary, so you know, just Riot Games finding yet another way to shit on my freaking day. So then 2 minutes later when I saw that spotlight stealing sack of time traveling shit, Rav Daddy wanted revenge, so I chased only to run into some fat bald guy that just looks like he would be named Carl and work at a milk factory who crafted a giant ground gina as I dodged like my teammate is hovering Yasuo before banana bombing the baldy and finishing off Gothic Gosu with style. But the quick feast of those two morons didn't distract me from the goal of having a rematch with that time twat. So I run up and ask him how he plans on hitting me with his abilities when I'm behind his boosted ass before giving him the twinkle shaft. Wait, how did my Q miss there? Holy shit, Riot. And if that's an intentional interaction, then holy shit, Riot. Anyways, a team fight breaks out over the damn lava outfits again, and my team unanimously agrees that Thresh wore it better, but then that blood-puddling butt licker insists on proving to us why a 2-7 Vlad is better than any ADC as mommy long legs starts getting jumpy, so I back off and long range deliver a banana, but my team has the target focusing skills of a wet tampon, so naturally they all managed to die without killing anyone, and the zero impact pussy performance that I put on didn't help. But remember, this is silver, so they managed to take 0 objectives and opt rather to wait for my entire team to spawn again before picking another fight, and this time I don't let little blood boy Draco Malfoy intimidate me, so I actually participate in the totally uncoordinated shitfest number 2, which hey look, when the Fed ADC actually attacks things we win the fight with ease. To which their top laner makes some whiny comment as if it wasn't her long-legged ass that walked right into a hook when all 5 of the boys were over. But when I see her all alone with less vision than Donnie Trump's pandemic response plan, I position myself to cut off the wall vault, but she fails, so I just deliver a big bursty boy to her crying face instead. Then a big fight breaks out over who gets custody of this oversized dragon on weekends as Lantern Larry puts down an early wrestling ring, and luckily a dead enemy jungler and a whining mommy long legs aren't enough to steal the prize, so we take the cake and then use the power of being possessed by a giant wyvern spirit to first take out Draco Malfoy, then we chase to get to make Mustache Man and his little twerpy goth boy follow their friends back to Fountain. And this prompts 4 quitters to overrule 1 delusional optimist, causing this terrific twinkle shit experience to come to an end where I earned myself the plus on the end of that S, a damage done ween worth mentioning, and finally, the day that this Igloo crew will remember for eternity, the unlocking of Ezreal Mastery level 7 so I can go spamming it like all the sped winshitters on the Rift after every good, bad and ugly play that I make. Thanks for watching and let me know what you want to see me try next. Also, don't forget to stop by my second channel and leave some feedback in the comments. I am new to live commentary and using a mic and have been focusing on improving the quality of content on that channel in every video. Lastly, thank you to the super sugar fathers out on the site known as Patreon, where girls show their titties to donors while I simply show your names in my credits. You are the real homies. Pet your dog, jerk your ween, treat the people around you with love and brush your teeth tonight. Rav out.